let's explore something a little bit unusual about Ruby and classes. Unusual in comparison to, say, C++ or Java. And that is that in Ruby, what we say is that classes are open. And in C++ and Java, classes are closed. So let's explore what that means. Let's say, for instance, let's save this so that we have something to look at nicely here. Let's say we want to write your everyday normal palindrome method. And just in case you're wondering, the question mark is the convention that most Ruby methods use to indicate that that method is going to return a true or false. So we're saying that the palindrome is going to return a Boolean value whether or not the passed-in string is a palindrome. And we can implement this quite easily. We can compare the string to the reversed string, and this will work. So let's go ahead and try that out here. We can say palindrome, and we can try a string that is not a palindrome and a string that is a palindrome, and that will work. So let's go ahead and try that. Oh well, let's actually print out the results. There we go. So hello is not a palindrome, but Abba is. Yay. Nothing new or interesting here. But the reality is, this is kind of a yucky way in an object-oriented mentality to try to ask about a palindrome. We'd really like to be asking the object, are you a palindrome, rather than asking the generic question. And we can do this with Ruby because of its open class nature. We can't do this in normal programming languages because we don't have access to built-in strings. That's part of the programming language. But in Ruby, we have access to add new functionality to classes. Classes that we've written, but also classes that are built into the library. I'm going to give this example here with a string that's built into the language, but this is equally true with any other class that you write or that you use in another library. Let's create a new method called palindrome as part of the string class. Now we don't have to ask what string we're talking about because this is a method on a particular string. So we're going to compare ourself to the reverse of ourself. And so this looks strikingly similar to our palindrome up here, but it's doing it with a given string rather than being passed in a parameter. So let's try that. We're going to put S, and now we can do those same two strings. But it looks a whole lot more object-oriented because we are asking if those two strings are palindromes. And we get the exact same answers as we did before. This is an amazingly cool thing, but it's powerful, and you need to make sure that this is something that is useful and not going to burn you. It can be just as easy to add something to the array class, or even more carelessly to the object class, and affect every single object in your system, or helpfully provide functionality to every object in your system. But you need to be very careful and sure that that's what you want to do. But it allows you to do some nifty things with classes. Define a class, do some stuff, and then realize later, oh, I want to add more functionality. You don't have to go back to that class. You can just add it right in there as well. So it's a nice little feature that Ruby provides as an interpreted language that compiled languages don't often provide us, like C++ or Java.